Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode. This episode is not going to be a new Metal Masterpiece episode. This episode is just going to be me gushing about an album that I have loved for a long time, from a band that I've been a big fan of for quite a long time. And a married couple of that are friends with my wife and I, we've been friends with them for a long time. They recently went to a show and met the lead vocalist for this band. They met Burton C. Bell at a show, and they have pictures to prove it. Am I going to put them on here? Yeah, probably. I'll let them know about it. Don't worry about it. They probably won't care. They'll probably like being on YouTube. Don't worry about it. So the album that I feel like that I have to talk about is Obsolete. This is the Digipack version from Roadrunner Records, and it has all the bonus tracks on it. Like, it has their cover version of Car 00, Where Evil Dwells, Soul Wound, Messiah, and Concreto. Messiah is actually from a PC game called Messiah from Shiny Entertainment and Pi Interactive, I believe. And if you don't know who Shiny Entertainment is, they did the MDK and MDK2 games, and they did Wild 9 on the PS1. But that's where the song Messiah came from. It came from the soundtrack for the PC game Messiah. And I don't know, I don't really remember too much about that game, except I remember it being kind of bizarre. I don't really remember playing it very much. I just remember playing it because I knew Fear Factory did a song for the soundtrack. I think that's really the only reason why I played it. I think I was a sophomore, and it was maybe not too long before I got my driver's license. I remember my brother Kevin had this friend named Corey, and this kid was into all these metal bands that me and my brother we never heard of. He introduced us to Nevermore. He introduced us to Fear Factory and Iced Earth and Vader and all these random bands that neither me or my two brothers had any idea about. Every time he came over, he always brought over these random CDs all the time. One day when he came over, he was hanging out with my brother, and he didn't bring over the special edition version of Obsolete. He just brought the regular version over. And we were all just sitting in my room listening to it, because I had a decent CD player at the time. It wasn't anything spectacular or anything, but it was good enough that I remember the speakers being very solid and everything. But I was sitting there listening to it, and the entire time I just remember thinking to myself, this has got to be the heaviest band in the world. They have to be. Because at that point in time, I never heard anything as heavy as Dino Cazares' guitar. Never. I never heard anything like it, because up until that point, I never really listened to any grindcore, death metal, or industrial metal, or anything like that. Like, at that point in time, I wasn't really into like 9 Inch Nails and stuff like that. So I really wasn't exposed to that kind of sound, and I was immediately taken by it. Burton C. Bell's vocals were so fucking angry. And I just loved how he switched between clean and heavy vocals constantly. I just thought that was just so fucking awesome. It was badass, and it was a vocal style that, like I said, along with just the sound of the band in general, it was just it was a sound that I wasn't used to. I wasn't exposed to that kind of thing at that point in time. So after listening to the album, I asked my brother's friend, I'm like, hey, can I borrow this for a while? I I really, really like this album, and plus the album artwork caught my eye too. I mean, Obsolete. The album artwork is, it's nothing special, but it's artistic in its simplicity, and it's just everything about this album, just the sound and the production and the lyrics and the concept behind it of just society and the government and just everything that we know and love and we have loved for however many years now in America will soon at some point fall apart. It's going to happen. Martial law is going to happen. It's already starting to happen. I really hate thinking about that kind of crap, but it's true. And, this sort of material, I mean, there's lots of albums that talk about this kind of thing, but this album is just really, it's just a really strong album. And just from every standpoint, production, sound, lyrics, concept, just everything about this album is just, it's so real and so to the point. And I've always thought that this album was Fear Factory's best. Always. And I honestly, I've listened to pretty much almost all of Fear Factory's material, and I still think that this album is absolutely their best. I love it dearly. Factory live once, and it was with, it was with Megadeth and lots of other bands, but it was on the very first Gigantour. So I had the fantastic chance of seeing Dream Theater for the very first time, and I saw Nevermore, and I saw Fear Factory, and they played Shock and Edge Crusher, and what else did they play from this album? I think that might actually be the only two from this album they played on Gigantour, if I remember correctly, but Fear Factory kicked so much ass when they were on stage. And that was when Christian Wolbers was on the guitar. That wasn't when he was playing bass. That was during that period of time when Dino left and he did I forgot the name of that side project that he did. He did like 2 albums with a side project while he was away from Fear Factory. I can't remember the name of them, but Christian Wolbers was on guitar, and they had a different bassist for that period of time. And even with him on guitar and having a different bassist, they still kicked ass. It didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. I was just happy that I was able to see Fear Factory at least one time live, and that was just good enough for me. So, honestly, I don't really have anything else to say about this album, quite frankly. It's just a freaking fantastic album. And, yeah, that's really it. That's all I can say, guys. It's just, I think it's Fear Factory's best. It's not a new metal album, so it's like I said, this isn't a new metal masterpiece episode. I just wanted to come on here and talk about my favorite Fear Factory album out of their entire catalog. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I feel like an idiot now because I don't know how to end it, but I hope you enjoyed this episode and me talking like a jackass about Obsolete from Fear Factory. And make sure you favorite, rate, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Love the American Panzerfaust, and make sure you keep it heavy.